And that was confirmation. The video cut off. But I wanted to come on here. Welcome back to Talk to Tia. I guess I will start over and just say this one is going to be about how love is used as a weapon for destruction. And how I have experienced that in multiple dynamics. But I did want to say, maybe it cut off for a reason. You know, I love everyone who does come here on my channel or that goes listen to my podcast. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But you know, I'm at a point in my life to where if what someone's saying isn't like positive or constructive criticism, I don't care. I don't care as much as I would have way back when. I just don't care. Because there are a million other people that you can go manipulate them. But that just came through because we as humans, we have so-called system structures. We're here to visually see processes and more, and we still act in chaos a lot of the times. So there is no such thing as normal. There is just is. So however I do present myself, my content, it just comes. It does not look one way. I do not have a list. I don't have pinpoints. I don't come on here anything other than to share the message that I am receiving or that I feel I need to speak on. And I mean, if you do not align with it, there are a bunch of other people that you may align with. I'm at that point. There are a bunch of other people you can align with if you don't align with me. Okay? So, therefore, love being used as a weapon in multiple different dynamics. As a kid, we were kind of taught and trained and programmed to receive love or affection that it had to be earned. It had to be so hard to receive, you know, hugs and kisses or gifts or affirmations. I don't really know exactly what everyone needed at that time, but along those lines. And we were told, like, you know, if you're not a baby, you don't receive certain levels of love and affection. And the older we get, you know, we don't realize how that can program us when we move into relationships, that we have to work for love. We have to put up with things that we don't need to, that we, you know, should try harder when we should let things go. You know, and recognizing those things and then starting to act accordingly, you know, pull back your energy, you know, move out, whatever it is to get yourself stable again is difficult, because we're all yearning for love. We're all yearning to be accepted. We're all yearning for something, a deeper connection. And whatever you think you're finding that deeper connection through, but it's the whole point of wanting to find a deeper connection. Whether you're trying to get hella money and think that that's your connection to whatever it is, or you do drugs and then you think that that's your connection to whatever, you know, it could be a multiple of things of what people use or do to connect to something, deeper that they don't even realize that they're trying to connect to. And we strive so hard. We put ourselves through strife, you know, let alone the strife that is the energy itself that is present in the world, let alone putting ourselves through it and being in agreement with it, because we feel like there's nothing else out there for us. We feel like there's no one else out there for us. And that's not the truth. And if anything, you are right there with you. That should be the first step. Because if no one or nothing comes along down the road to so-called give you this deeper connection, you should be connecting with yourself. Can't rely on somebody to come in and totally provide, something. You do something by yourself until that comes. And it's no guarantee, like I've said with multiple times, when it comes to this so-called great life that I want in life. If God never brings it to fulfillment, or if I never reach that turning point in life, I still got to be okay with me where I am. I got to connect with the me here right now and be okay with me here and now before I say like, oh, that's the thing that, what about I have to complete me as much as I possibly can before something else can come in, because then that would be placing the value outside of me, saying that this person or this thing coming into my life is what's going to complete me. So yes, love can be used as a weapon for destruction, and it starts off very early in life, and how those relationships, how we see our parents, how we have relationship with our siblings, like those dynamics are like the fundamental foundations of what we accept, or what we feel like we extremely don't want, is on the two extreme ends. The things you absolutely will not do and avoid at all costs, and the things that we dive in just because we're unaware of the balance in between, which is ourselves, loving ourselves and showing up for ourselves, which is very hard to do when you're thinking, hey, I need the support of others all of the time, or specific someone's. Because I found a lot of advice and love and guidance from people who did not grow up in my home, from people who weren't in my relationships, who did not lie in my bed. It was people who were not, that so-called did not have a place in my life, a steady place in my life. These were strangers in passing that gave me these gems that I constructed into my own benefit down the road, or in that present moment. It wasn't the people that I thought it would come from. So, just getting myself to here and everything that I have been through in, family, friends, relationships, or even just dating phases, how love can be destructive, if placed in the wrong hands, and it's a different kind of eye opener, for someone to use. It's an eye opener when someone will tell you they love you, or someone will tell you, the things that you want to hear, but never show up for you, never really pull through, or, straight up, they knew they didn't have the right intentions, but saying I love you, or saying I care for you, or saying I want you, kept you around, kept you lingering around, and we didn't make the decision like, okay, this isn't enough. This isn't a healthy love for me. And I've experienced that, if you listen to my podcast and me talking about everything that I went through with this whole like phone hacking and the people I've been dating and everything like that, I was receiving messages of love which blows my mind. It's just wild because I was receiving like someone loves you, someone cares, someone will show up for you, someone this, someone that, you know. And of course, I had certain people in mind, who I felt like was in my life or I was attracted to or I wanted, whatever it may be, and nothing ever happened. So I had to snap myself out of that illusion that this wasn't another form of abuse, if that makes sense, and which I spoke on as well. I'm like, it's still abuse. If someone being around you, like, people think like, oh, I have to be physically beating you or, something along the lines, but sometimes it's like just not showing up in the ways that need to be happening in a relationship or a dynamic is abuse over time, especially if it's known, if the issue is known and things like that, so I've experienced love is a weapon for destruction firsthand, you know, and I never thought it would happen to me like that, where, someone would use love as a game, as a weapon in those ways. Because I don't operate like that. I don't. Me having to let someone down, like, hey, I'm not really just that interested. It's hard for me to send a text like that or have those conversations because I don't want to hurt anyone. I've been hurt, but I also have to realize that would be another form of manipulation for me to sit here and string along somebody who I know that I'm not interested in those ways, but knowing that they are. So, yeah, I've experienced it on both hands, on both hands, both sides, and it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not funny. It's not cool. How heartless people can be, how deceitful and diabolical someone could be and use love as a weapon. But neither here nor there, regardless if that's someone else's intent to play with you, to hurt you and manipulate you and deceive you. Once you come to the realization, hey, this isn't working, this isn't enough, this doesn't feel right, I'm constantly trying, I'm this, I'm that, that's when you can take the first step, is to pull your energy back and just say, this isn't it then. There is someone else out here for me in the world. It just is not you. And this is where I'm placing my energy and my focus. And I no longer need to do that because it is not benefiting me in my future. It is not benefiting me in my mind and my heart. It is not beneficial for me to entertain and engage with that type of manipulation. And it is very hard because a lot of, like I said, I don't even feel comfortable telling somebody, hey, I'm not interested, so I know, but I would rather have someone tell me the truth. I know I would rather have someone tell me the truth than to not really care about me, and it shows in the way that they show up for me. And me sitting here and accepting it like, hey, it's some effort, it's something, woohoo. What would I be excited about half-ass effort? When there is someone in this world who would give 110%, if they could give 300, they would. And there are some people who'll find a way to give you that 300 no matter what. So why would I sit here and stress over 10%? may have stressed over 10% before the realization of there are other options. If this just isn't working, this just isn't working. You know, and I don't know what tomorrow holds or what the future holds, or this so-called promise God has to fulfill you and make you whole. I still don't know how all of this will unfold, but what I do know is that if God is of unlimited life and opportunities and potential, I don't have to stay in any one predicament that isn't beneficial to my mind and my body, my soul. And especially to not God's plan for me. And I'm not saying it doesn't hurt to know, like, hey, someone would totally play in your face, play on your phone, send you fake messages about they love you, they'll show up for you, that they care about you, and then never do, because it was all just for entertainment of them. To some people in this world, we have to realize some people wake up and that's how they literally live off of that. We're just some options, some tools to some people. And once you realize, hey, even if I am a tool to help someone in life, I don't have to be mishandled. I don't have to be disrespected. I don't have to be hurt just to be a so-called, we're all twos to people. We're all a tool to someone in this world, whether we're hurting or helping in some way, shape, or form. But we don't have to be neglected. Even a tool has a toolbox, a place for it. So for things to just be left out all kind of confused and fucked up, that's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. I don't know what's next, and I don't know what will, but I know this ain't it. And that's all I need to know right now in order for me to take that next step with passion and with purpose of finding what the fuck is for me, or what's for me finding me, however it may go, you know. Life is something, you know. Life is something, you know, and despite everything that I have went through in relationships where I put myself out there repeatedly, or, you know, even tried with the wrong person, or however it may be, you know, that I still have hope that there is fulfillment out there for me, that there is happiness, there is wholeness for me. Confirmation. Just got a notification. So I don't know what that may bring, but I have hope for it. Because even if there isn't, even if it is just me for the rest of my life, that's still better than being there in those situations with those people. And I'm a living witness to that part too. I am a living witness to that. It's better to be alone than to have the wrong people around you. And it's hard to do, because who wants to be alone in a world with so many people? But goodness, baby, I'd rather take solitude over slavery any day of my life. Leave me alone. So that's all I really have now, you know, about using love as a weapon. So until next time, you guys.